We now welcome in the incomparable Doris Burke. Doris is calling the Nuggets Timberwolves star-studded matchup tonight. Hey, DB, what are your first impressions, even though it's early in the season, of the Anthony Edwards-Julius Randle pairing?
Well, they're not where they want to be defensively, that's for sure. Malika, as you know, they were just so dominant on that end of the floor, and I think they expected some of that, but there was one reason they got Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, and that was because in their loss in the NBA playoffs, they recognized they needed more playmaking around him, and Julius Randle is a guy who can sustain an offense. He's averaging over 5 assists a game. I think they think they're better, and I think they think they're tougher, and they're more diverse offensively, so the addition was perfect.
I gotta ask, DB, do you like the fact that Ant is taking over 13 threes a night?
Well, when you consider that he averaged over 10 points per game off of drives and had some of the most spectacular dunks we've seen in a while, I think from an aesthetically pleasing NBA fan standpoint, I'd like to see more drives. But I don't think you can fault him right now. I think he's trying to figure out how to play with Julius, how to play with different combinations, because Chris Finch is still tinkering with lineups. I think he'll settle into a better rhythm in terms of a balance. But listen, if you're going to knock it down at the clip he's knocking it down at, why not? Because he becomes even more dangerous off the drive if now you've got to get a step closer and contest and pressure.
Before we let you go, DB, let's go to the Nuggets side of all of this if we could, because Nikola Jokic is off to another fantastic start, averaging over 31 points a game, leading the league in that respect. But they had to go to overtime to get wins over teams like the Nets and the Raptors, and that's all the wins they have on the season. So are they asking too much of Jokic? What's going on there?
Well, Malika, do you think that they've asked a lot of him over the last 7 years, considering he's led them in points, rebounds, and assists? And to get those 2 wins, he's had to have triple-doubles and go over 40 and play 40-plus minutes over a 2-game stretch. I mean, listen, it's not ideal. But until Jamal Murray, we see the swaggering, swashbuckling, shot-making guy we saw when they won an NBA championship, he's going to have to carry a heavier load. Until Michael Porter Jr., and he broke through a little bit last game, starts to make shots, you're in a tough spot if you're Michael Malone, because 20 games in, your record matters in the West. That's how competitive it is. And if you got to grind wins right now, you've got to grind wins. It's not ideal. We saw them pay a price for that in the playoffs last year, I thought, in terms of fatigue, Malika. So, but if there's broad enough shoulders and a well enough conditioned athlete, it's Nikola Jokic, and I'm here for watching him play 40 tonight if that's what it's got to be.
Amen. The one and only Doris Burke. Thank you so much for stopping by NBA Countdown.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them down, try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, ESPN.